1816, the year without summer. Snow in June across New England, crop failures throughout Europe, famine spreading across the entire northern hemisphere. Ask any historian what happened. You'll get the same answer. The eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia in April 1815, the largest volcanic eruption in recorded history. A perfect explanation. Clean, reassuring. But what if this explanation wasn't complete? What if something far more disturbing happened? According to official history, Tambora ejected so much ash into the atmosphere that the entire planet cooled for over a year. Temperatures dropped dramatically. Summers disappeared. Famines multiplied. Makes sense, right? Volcanoes can affect climate. It's scientifically proven. So why question this explanation? Because the more you examine the evidence, the more the inconsistencies pile up. The climate data from 1816 is indeed alarming, but it doesn't match volcanic winter models. First problem, the cooling wasn't uniform. Some regions were devastated, others barely affected, yet volcanic ash follows predictable atmospheric patterns. The cooling should be gradual and widespread. Second problem, the timing. The worst effects appeared too quickly after the eruption, and in some cases, regional climate disruptions appear in the records before the eruption date. How is that possible? Third problem, recovery. Some areas recovered quickly, others took years. This isn't consistent with a standard volcanic winter. Atmospheric scientists still struggle today to explain these anomalies using only the volcanic model. But it's what happened after 1816 that raises the real questions. What followed wasn't simple adaptation to a food crisis. It was massive reorganization of populations on a global scale. Let's talk about the orphan trains in America. Between 1853 and 1929, over 200,000 children were systematically relocated from eastern cities to rural areas in the West. The official explanation? Urban poverty following the 1816 famine. But wait, if this was just a response to famine, why did this program start decades after 1816? Why did it last nearly 80 years? And most importantly, why did so many children have no documented family history? The records are incomplete, origins are vague. Family histories stop abruptly at a certain point, as if something had erased their past. This pattern repeats worldwide. In Europe, massive migration waves. In Russia, entire population relocations. In Asia, gaps in demographic records. And everywhere, a coordinated response. Massive construction of orphanages, asylums, workhouses, buildings appearing simultaneously across different continents with disturbing architectural uniformity. How did isolated regions without modern communication infrastructure all develop the same solution at the same time? These buildings themselves pose problems. If this was really just to shelter people displaced by famine, you'd expect simple structures, economical, hastily built. That's not what we find. These institutions were ingeniously designed structures, reinforced foundations, sophisticated ventilation systems, capacities far exceeding stated needs, some feature characteristics that seem designed to protect occupants from environmental threats. And here's the disturbing question: where did they find the resources to build all this during a period of supposed economic devastation? How was construction coordinated during a time of famine? Even stranger, many of these buildings incorporate construction techniques that, according to official history, didn't exist yet or had been lost. This is where the nuclear winter hypothesis becomes impossible to ignore. I'm not saying it's certain, I'm presenting facts and asking questions. A nuclear winter produces specific atmospheric effects, rapid temperature drops, irregular cooling based on blast distribution, rather than atmospheric circulation, localized severity, environmental disruption requiring massive institutional response. The 1816 data fits these patterns better than standard volcanic models. Now imagine what managing the aftermath of a large-scale nuclear exchange would require. Immediate population redistribution away from affected zones, massive institutional construction to house displaced populations, complete reorganization of social infrastructure, erasure of records to prevent panic, creation of alternative explanations for environmental disruption. Look at the evidence. Massive population movements after 1816, unprecedented institutional construction, waves of orphans requiring systematic redistribution, architectural features suggesting environmental protection, global coordination during a period of supposed isolation, climate patterns incompatible with purely volcanic causation. All of this officially explained as a response to a volcano. Volcanic winters don't require orphan trains. They don't require construction of fortified institutions with environmental protection features. They don't require systematic erasure of population records. A nuclear catastrophe does. I can't definitively prove what caused the year without summer, but I can show you the evidence. I can point out the inconsistencies. I can ask the questions that official history refuses to address. The deeper I looked, the less the volcanic explanation held together. Not because volcanoes can't affect climate. They can, but because the response to 1816 goes so far beyond what a volcanic winter would require. The question isn't whether something bigger happened. The evidence makes that almost certain. The question is, what are we still not being told about the world before 1816?